basically, we wanted to create something around mental health and worthiness that could help you and all the beautiful women watching to get the best tools so they can have a mindset that is so strong and so full of love and support that they can thrive no matter the difficulties and no matter the challenges that we face.
Welcome to the Boss Ladies Mindset channel, powered by Crown for Success, the largest women's empowerment network for soulful CEOs on social media. We are a coaching business that mentors and motivates women to reach their highest potential in business and mindset mastery. Each one of our episodes will share valuable tips, resources, interviews, and empowering information that will help boss ladies design a life and business they're crazy as fuck about.
Hey there, Anahi, the self-worth coach here, and I am on part 2 or this very special 3-part series that I'm creating for the Crown for Success and Boss Lady Mindset Tribe, which I am super happy to be part of. And basically, we wanted to create something around mental health and worthiness that could help you and all the beautiful women watching to get the best tools so they can have a mindset that is so strong and so full of love and support that they can thrive no matter the difficulties and no matter the challenges that we face. And before I start on that, I wanted to tell you a little bit about what is it, the Boss Lady Mindset, what is it that we are. So I am a regional vice president for the Crown for Success team, and basically who we are is women that support other women. We're basically queens supporting one another and creating tools and programs and ideas and so many different things to make sure that women worldwide get the support they need to start their businesses, they can take their business to the next level, but more importantly, that we can keep on paying it forward to other women. So there's an amazing program that they can help you to become a coach if that's what you're aiming for, but also if you want to start a business, if you're ready for financial independence, this is the place to start, and you're going to be supported by so many amazing women who have done the work, who are ready to support you, and that more importantly, that they know how hard it can be to do this journey on your own, because entrepreneurship can be very isolating. So make sure that you join, you follow, you subscribe, you do all the magical things so that you can get the support that you deserve on your own journey of freedom and joy and empowerment and purpose. So there's that. And my name is Anahi, and I am a self-worth coach for overachieving millennial women. And I basically guide my clients. I'm a fellow traveler on their journeys to get to their vision and to achieve a life full of ease and prosperity and abundance and fun on their own terms. And that's kind of like what I love doing more than anything in the world. So on the first part of this series, we talk about what is self-worth, where the self-worth comes from, and what's happening with self-worth, our needs, and our mental health. And I am very passionate about talking about mental health and tools to get to a very, very, very good mental health, because I myself have struggled with depression most of my life. And then when I had my first son, I struggled with postnatal depression. So I am used to knowing that mental health conditions can be kind of like lurking there, and if we are not prepared to ask for help, and if we are not supported and empowered to ask for help and to actually do the work, we can actually struggle for years in full-on isolation, which to me is one of the saddest things that could happen. So on this second part, I want to talk a little bit about what is happening in our head, right? So we talk about mental health, and we talk about depression, and we talk about narcissism, and we talk about bipolar, and we talk about so many different labels. But what is it that it is our mental health? And when I think about mental health, I basically think about my mind a little bit like if it was a house, and it's about kind of like housekeeping my mind, making sure that everything that I'm thinking, that I'm repeating to myself, that I am living in, because we are basically living in our heads, supports me, my vision, and my sense of worthiness. Whenever you have one of those thoughts that are like, you're not good enough, you're fat, you're ugly, you, whatever it is that the thought might say, that is part of your mental health. And this is where the housekeeping part has to come in. So what is that whole mental health world? We have an element that is a biological and chemical element, which is how are our neurotransmitters, serotonin, all of these things happening, and it's linked to both what we eat, because a lot of them are done in the gut, and to also our brain, right? So there's that element of mental health. And then we have the other part, which is the stories that we're telling ourselves about ourselves and about the world, the thoughts that we're thinking all the time, And also our belief system, our mindset. What is it that we believe about us and about the world and about the way we relate together? What are we telling ourselves? Many of us are walking around the world with stories that are very negative, telling ourselves that our needs are not valid, that we are too much, that we are naggy, that we are not good enough, that only when we reach ABC we are gonna be worthy of love and connection and success and money and whatever, right? We have all these things here that come from our childhood, but also that come from the way that we see others relate to ourselves, and the messages that we get reinforced every day in media, right? So when your parents did their absolute best but still hurt you because they were wounded themselves, the messages that we have here, the mindset, the beliefs are really limiting. Also, we have limiting beliefs that have been passed transgenerationally. Like my last name is Ortiz, so maybe my family said, well, we Ortizes are dreamers, but we're not doers. Or you might say, we Smith are not very smart. Or we, I don't know, Risby are too emotional. We're too emotional. Or we don't do emotions. Or we do this, or we do that. We buy into these mindsets, and we roll with them. We roll with these beliefs. I always tell my clients, it's like if their mind is like a house, it's a beautiful house. And I said to them, imagine that you have this beautiful mansion and you can dream about it as best as you want, right? So it might have a pool, it might have 3 pools, I don't know. And you take a moment and you close your eyes and you imagine that beautiful mansion and you're walking around it, right? And when you got your mansion, a lot of people gave you gifts, housewarming gifts. And they're beautiful boxes. And you have this beautiful space full of these boxes with ribbons, and they're stunning. And then one day you're walking around and you're like, what is that smell? And you begin to open boxes, and some of the boxes might have beautiful china or cutlery or ornaments, but then some of the boxes have piles and piles of shit. And you're like, what? And then you check who gave you that, and maybe it was your grandma, or maybe it was your mom, or maybe it was your best friend. A lot of the beliefs that we hold are piles of shit that were passed on to us by well-meaning people, but there are still piles of shit. And so it is you, the one that has to understand that your mindset might be limited by other people's limitations and beliefs. It doesn't have to do anything about you. Like I remember I was giving this example to a friend, and she said, oh my God, one of the biggest pile of shit that I got was that she's Lebanese. Lebanese men are all like this and that and this, and I believe it, and I marry a Lebanese guy, and I'm always accusing him of that. And so, okay, are you ready to get rid of that pile of shit? So when we talk about mindset, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about all the things that we believe so deeply about ourselves and about the world, and that we keep creating a life around that. So if a lot of the beliefs that you have with piles of shit are about you and your worthiness and joy and happiness, like one of the beliefs that I held for many, many years when I had my first son was that motherhood was not only hard, but it wasn't happy. My mother was depressed most of my childhood. So to me, motherhood was unhappy, it was depressive, it was asphyxiating, it was lonely. So when I started to have postnatal depression after I had my son, and I couldn't connect with him, and I was struggling, instead of saying there's a problem here, I said there's not a problem. This is how motherhood is for me. This is what I got. Like I would think there's these two type of people. There's the people that get like the happy motherhood, and then there's me. So these beliefs might be truly affecting the way that you see yourself and your mental health. It could be affecting the way you relate to your spouse, to your children, to your career, but most importantly, the way you relate to you and the stories that you tell yourself. So you may be slightly anxious, but you turn that really high up because anxiety is what you were told you are. Or maybe you are going through a hard time and you need some support, but you were told that you don't get it, that you don't get to ask for help because whatever. And so that you start to slip into depression. So these are the things that we need to be very conscious about. What stories, what thoughts, what is my mindset, what are my beliefs? And when I talk about beliefs, I want you to challenge your beliefs about yourself, love, your parenting, if you're a parent, your career, success, sex, marriage, commitment, abundance, money, enjoyment, Challenge all these core concepts that might be creating stories in your head that are keeping you trapped and small and drowning, because that is not what life is meant to be. The moment that you realize that you might have been holding to a lot of other people's piles of shit, you can start taking them out of your head and start bringing in some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thoughts and beliefs about you and all that you can accomplish. And this is going to be a whole 180 change for you and for your life, because suddenly you're going to be like, wow, that makes so much sense. And the reason why I say that is because when you own your narrative, you own the story. When you allow yourself to say, okay, so up until now, I have believed A, B, C, D, E, F, blah, 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 about me, about love, about marriage, about commitment, about success, about career, about entrepreneurship, about sex, about whatever you want to add there. Can I challenge that? Is that true? Who is telling me those beliefs? Is it my voice, or is it my Auntie Sue voice? Is it me, or is it my grandmother? Is it my belief, or does it belong to my dad? Where is it coming from? So the first question is like, whose voice is it? Where is it coming from? The second is it true? And most of the time when you ask, is it true? You're going to be like, nah, it's so not true. It's not even funny. And then you ask yourself, how do I want to replace it? What do I want to tell myself about me, about money, about family, about motherhood, about entrepreneurship, about sex, about success? What do I want to tell myself? What stories do I want to create when I own my narrative, when I own my story? And by doing this, suddenly you're going to start realizing the many, many ways in which you might have been limited by other people's limitation. And you are going to be able to break free, and you're going to be able to create that beautiful life full of colors, full of joy, full of abundance and expansion that you deserve. Because believe it or not, you deserve it now. And if you need any support on this journey, if you're thinking, you're listening to this and nodding and thinking, oh my God, Anahi, I want to talk to you more, just tell me. Please go to all the links here, and one of the links is going to give you an option to book a free 30-minute conversation with me to see about your vision and to see how can we get you there fast, happily, and in full power, because that is my job and that is what I love doing. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel, but also make sure that you follow me in all my social medias and that you book a session. Let's see where we can take that mindset of yours so that you can cleanse your beautiful mansion in your head from all the shit that you have been carrying, and instead you start bringing some really, really cool stuff that serve you and nourish you for good. We still have one last part to talk about mental health and worthiness, and I am super excited. So stay tuned. Make sure that you follow us and that you share this with someone. If this was of service to you, make sure that you tag someone, send it to someone, create a movement. Allow your sisters to also thrive with these amazing tips. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely day. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Boss Ladies Mindset channel powered by Crown for Success. Please tune in next week for another episode, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at RVP Queens, at The Girl Gang Confidential, at Crown for Success, at Strong Women Are Beautiful, and of course at Boss Ladies Mindset.